so we're back at it with another video. I'm not going to spend too much time waffling at the start. We're just going to get right into it. Anyways, here we are with the Nix Lilith. This board is a 65%, and I'd say this is in like almost the end game range. This board costs a little bit more than like a unicorn, about as much as a Kohaku, and that's not something I really expected because at the time, I didn't really know how much those boards were when I got this. And then I looked it up. I'm like, holy crap, this is like the same price as them. That's kind of crazy. I ended up getting mine off Mech Market, but they recently did a very limited in-stock drop of this, and there's some units that are in stock, which are really only the silver and rose gold units, which I have a rose gold unit right here, and it has a copper weight on it. Now, there were only 2 colors with the copper weight and 2 colors with the mirror weight. The 2 colors with the mirror are red and silver, and red's not in stock anymore, but silver is. And for the copper, there was a 1-of-1 unit for a peach color, and I'm so sad I missed it, which it cost $100 more than the other ones. Sadly, someone grabbed it. I don't blame them. It looks amazing. And there's obviously the rose gold. Now, this board, for an A-stock unit, costs a whopping $550. I didn't pay that much. I did not pay that much. And then the B-stock units are $500. I got this for $500 shipped off Mech Market. I got really lucky. There was not, it was before this like recent in-stock drop happened. Like they were all out of stock. And then they dropped a few extra units after I did it, and I'm glad I got it when I did, because this is an awesome board. I'd say this is a very, very top tier board that rivals stuff like the 910 and the Kohaku, because they're all on that kind of like upper price range and just have this, I don't know, they're just really good. And I have tried some other top tier 65% boards. I've tried the Envoy, the Portal, and the 910. I haven't tried the Kohaku yet. Hopefully I go to another meetup and they have one. Really hoping to try one, but I guess there just wasn't one there. And this board still outshined all of those boards. Oh yeah, I've tried an Iron 165 as well. Forgot to mention that. And I still like this more than the Iron 165. I don't know, that board's kind of plain. But yeah, this board is super nice. It uses a gasket mount. And it's just like a silicone gasket. It's not pour-on, but instead of like the Kohaku's like smaller gaskets, this uses 3 big gasket strips on the back and in the front. And you can see them kind of like through the case-ish, where it's like there's 1, 2, and then number 3 right there. Now, this means that there is a mounting point under the spacebar, and some people kind of freak out when they hear about that. However, the Kohaku also has a mounting point under the spacebar, and is known for having a really nice and strong sounding spacebar that sounds better than, you know, other boards that have a mounting point under the spacebar, like the Frog TKL. And so, right here, I have Hyperglides, and these are nice PBT, Peaches and Cream Light. Keep in mind, this is not under a desk, but I don't mind the sound of this. This board sounds pretty good. It's solid. It's a solid board. It sounds great. This has like a polycarbonate top case, and only plate option that I found is aluminum. Now, I think the plate files are public. I'm not 100% sure on it, but I will link them in the description if they are there, and I'll say if they aren't in the description. I really love the look of the aluminum through the polycarbonate. Alex had this kind of like pose in his thumbnail. That's kind of what sold the board for me. I saw that and I thought it was amazing. And the weight comes from the top, kind of like a Kohaku, comes from the top and drops down, and has Lilith in a cursive font. I don't know, I've heard some people don't like the cursive text, but I think it looks pretty good. I'm a huge fan of having the name of the board on the back kind of like this. Yeah, I think it looks pretty solid. And these copper weights, I've taken this apart, it's very heavy, very nice, feels super premium. And this was the first time I've ever tried like a polycarbonate type case. And for some reason, this is just kind of like turned me on for polycarbonate boards. I brought this to the Novel Keys meetup, and this, I was like, okay, I want to try more polycarbonate boards, because even though this brought a little bit of a deeper tone, I still feel like switches like Hyperglides or Alab's Neons will sound super good in this, and kind of just like balance it out a little bit with just having a more muted clack, and I kind of like it. It sounds pretty good. I think it's pretty solid. So, this board, is it worth it? I think it's pretty worth it. It's definitely going to be a statement piece because it's very unique looking. I haven't really seen anything that looks like it, and I think it sounds fantastic as well. Definitely has a unique kind of sound to it. Now, one thing that might be a turnoff, and well, actually two things that might be a turnoff for people buying it, is one, it's solder only. I don't think any other PCBs will work in this case, so you can't just grab some like Canon keys. I know they have like these new PCBs, I can't think of them off the top of my head, but they have really good layout support in their hot swap with the daughter board. I don't think those will work in this case, just because I don't think they're meant to fit this case. And there's also no threading in the polycarbonate. That is a huge turnoff. I've asked like other people like what their thoughts are on this board, and like, oh, I really like this board, but there's no threading in the polycarbonate, which prevents a lot of rebuilding issues because some people have to take their boards apart. I just kind of like put it in there, leave it. I don't know. I have Hyperglide Browns in here, and I've kind of, I guess you could say, broken these in. I've been using these a lot since June. So, and as of recording this, it is October 29th. So, take that however you want. Lube them with 3203. Use 0.15 millimeter TX films. I know there's different sizes for them, specifically in the purple color because, you know, purple's a cool color. And I've spring swapped these to triple stage Geon springs, 57 grams. They're super nice. Feel very responsive and snappy. But yeah. Oh yeah, and one more thing. I used the PE sheet from my QK65 in the bottom case of this. I know, I'm using foam, very, very thin foam, in a $550 keyboard. So I use very long Milmax sockets in here, and I don't really want them bottoming out on the case, and so that's just kind of my solution. I don't think it really affects the sound all that much, but I just feel like it's worth mentioning it just because it's something that's in the board, and people might take that into consideration, but in reality, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. Here's the sound test. So yeah, there's everything I got on the board. I really like this. So yeah, I do recommend it. I've tried this and compared it to other boards that are around its price range, which I don't know why I forgot this board as well, but the Matrix Corsa I've tried as well, and I still like this board more. The TGR 910, the Portal, the Iron 165, I've tried all those boards, and for some reason, this just shines above the rest. I think it sounds amazing. I think it looks amazing. There's nothing like it that's on the market. And I think it's a great alternative to something like the Kohaku that looks really nice. And yeah, currently in stock. Go ahead, snag the units before they sell out. It's worth it. It's amazing. You'll love this board. That's all I gotta say for this. So yeah, adios.